So a lot of you guys have been asking me, Yaya, how did you become a motivational speaker and what can I do to become one if I wanted to pursue that path? If you want to become a paid motivational speaker, watch this full video.
You are now listening to
So for those of you who don't know my story, about 4 years ago, I dropped out of college. I'll explain why in a future video. But I dropped out of college and like most of you, I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. I was depressed, I was confused, anxious, uncertain about the next direction to take, the next step to take. And to make things even worse, I was jobless. I had $7 total in my bank account and $40,000 of debt that felt like a burden on my shoulders. And I had no place to stay until my friend Mike invited me into his home. Now, Mike sensed the anxiety and depression that I was going through, and he sensed that, you know, I was just lost. And he, just simply like a good friend would do, he just said, Yaya, you're a motivational guy. Why don't you speak to young people, and share your story? Now, at that time, I thought it was such a dumb idea. Like, who was going to listen to a 22-year-old guy who barely has any life experience talking about life and how to live it or whatever, right? But I decided to silence that voice in my head down, and I went on Google the next day, typed in speaking to young people, and this website came out called Youth Speaker University. And apparently there's the founder of Youth Speaker University, his name is Josh Shipp. He's had a very successful career, and by successful I mean he was featured in 30 Under 30 Inc. magazine. He is a millionaire, and he is offering the Youth Speaker University program as an online coaching program for people who want to make an impact and an income sharing their story and their message and want to make a difference. And at first I was like, it's kind of BS, but as I did some digging, I was like, okay, this guy's a real deal. So, like any ambitious and very desperate person would do, I emailed him this huge email, like a novel, and telling him like, hey dude, like, I'm struggling right now. And I just went in about my whole life story, about like where I was born and what happened. I got dropped when I was a baby and all that stuff, like unnecessary stuff, right? I always tend to do that. But I got a reply from him, literally, this, how poetic. I got a reply from him, an email back with one sentence, literally just one sentence that says, hey man, I'm sorry to hear about your situation. I really think you should find a way to invest in the program. It will help you tremendously. Something like that. And at that time I was butthurt, right? I was like, wait, hold up. Like, how can he disrespect me like that with just one sentence? But I was like, you know what? Forget it, let it slide. He was right. I had nothing to lose and everything to gain. If I really wanted this bad enough, let me figure out a way to get some income to pay for it or to invest in it. So that weekend I got a job as a waiter and I got $300 cash. And so I put it into my bank account and put my debit card on the line and said, here you go. I paid for the first month, and every single month I did that and a Tony Robbins coaching program. Each month, both at the same time. I did that, and this was from 2011, January 2011 to December 2011, or January 2012, around that time. So 4 years later, I've traveled across the country. I've spoken and shared my message about living your best life, finding and fulfilling your purpose. I've shared my story about my upbringing and how I found my birth mom and all these things. And I've gotten countless emails from students who apparently said that, I've made a difference in their lives. I'm not saying this to brag, guys. I'm saying this, if it wasn't for that moment of me figuring out a way to get some mentorship for this process that I was about to embark on, for this journey that I was about to embark on, I wouldn't be where I am today. And I've learned a bunch of things in the past 4 years, a lot of things that would be too much for this video per se, but here are just a few things. Motivation alone is not enough. Motivation will get you going, will get you started on your journey, but you need mentorship along the way to gain some momentum. My formula for success is as follows. Motivation plus mentorship equals momentum. Mentorship gives you the accountability, the strategies, the tools, the discipline, the focus, and the consistency and the commitment you need to continue throughout the process. And momentum gets you to follow through and complete and finish what you started and wanted in the first place. And so for those of you out there who feel like you have a message that's dying inside of you, that you feel like you have something significant and that's worth sharing with the world, regardless of what your background is, regardless of what your age is. Doesn't matter if you're 18 years old, because there are speakers who are out there making a living who are 18, 19 years old, or if you're 60 or 70 years old. You can still be doing this. And if you feel like speaking to the younger generation or speaking the education market is for you, I highly recommend Josh Shipp's program. The reason why I'm shooting this video is because Josh Shipp is running the scholarship. I wish I had a scholarship when I first started, but he didn't at that time, but now he does. He's running the scholarship, and on top of that, the enrollment is opening up for those who do want to become speakers and want to test it out to see if it's really for them. A few pieces of advice. If you're going to do this, make sure you're serious about it. And by serious, I mean commit at least 2 years to it. Don't put your feet in for about 3 months or anything and say, it's not for me. Give it all you got. I didn't picture myself doing what I'm doing now. I'm still traveling. I've sabotaged my success to a certain degree here and there, but I've been able to author 2 books, write 2 books. I've been able to travel across the country. I've been able to develop an amazing relationship with Josh Shipp and learn from people in the industry, colleagues of mine and other people. And I've been able to make a great income. I haven't been able to sustain that income because of my bad mismanaging habits of finances, but that's another story. That's something that I'm working on for this year. So for those of you out there who are doing it, I have the link down below. Please do yourself a favor, invest in it. If you win the scholarship, great. If you don't, I think it's still worth you taking out a couple of bucks a month to invest in something that will give you a greater return in the long run. Don't let money be an excuse for your dreams, because if you're just thinking about yourself and the lack that you have, then you won't be able to give forth and establish not only a form of security, but of significance and contribution to the world. You know what I'm saying? The people that you're destined to serve in the long run. I'm just rambling on here. Yeah, a few things to just be aware of, just because I want to do my best to be transparent and honest with you. The link down below is an affiliate link, meaning that I do get a commission if you do sign up. But if you know anything about me, you know that I will not share anything with anyone if I haven't tried it, if I don't believe in it, or if it hasn't provided me some form of result. So know that anything that I share with you on this channel and in my work is something that I truly believe in and that has proven to work. And let this opportunity save you years of pain and anguish. I mean, Josh is out there. This is his mission. This is his purpose, his niche. He's owning it. He's dominating it. And he's helping a lot of people make a difference out there in the world. And I know there's something else that I want to say that just kind of like ran out of my mind, but I'm bringing it back. So if you're one of those people who are very stubborn and arrogant, like I was, or I am to a certain degree sometimes, you think you could do this alone. That's great. I have, in the past 4 years, I've shared this program with a few people. And many of them have just like, put it aside and said, you know what, it's not for me, maybe not this year. And they're still, year after year, they keep asking me, hey, Yaya, how do you become a motivational speaker? How do you do this? How do you do that? The reason why they keep asking me this situation is because they didn't take my advice when I first told them. Invest in mentorship. Invest in someone who's paved the way for your success. Don't reinvent the wheel. Learn from them. They have so much gold. Take the gold, throw out the dirt, just like everything else in life. And if you can remember the formula that I gave you, that I apply in my life as best as possible, motivation plus mentorship equals momentum. Within a year, 2 years, 3 years, there's no reason why you couldn't be making income and impact doing what you love to do. So if you're still on the fence, let go and jump all in. Click that link down below. I promise you it will be one of the greatest investments that you'll make. And don't let me just vouch for it. Let my results and my experience and my career vouch for that. So good luck on your journey.